Gervonta Davis converts to Islam. I'm dangerous. We already ready to go to 40, bro. And he says he still wants to hurt Devin Haney. Wow. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Best in the business here, and it's not even close. Gervonta Davis, he did a thing. He is now adopted and converted to Islam, and I've seen a lot of people who are celebrating, they're celebrating this change. Gervonta Davis has come a long way. He is now Muslim, and congratulations, inshallah, to Gervonta Davis for, making the choice that best fits his life. Now, I seen on social media, somebody had commented on this, and Devin Haney, who's also a devout Muslim, and he's very vocal about it. Devin Haney being a fellow Muslim brother now, and Gervonta Davis, they said like something to the effect like, you're both brothers now. To which Gervonta Davis says, I still want to hurt him. Basically, what Gervonta Davis is saying is him converting to Islam, taking the Shahadah, it changes nothing. He still wants Devin Haney. He still wants to put pause to Devin Haney. Will the fight happen in 2024? I don't know. But it would be a doozy if it does. Gervonta Davis, again, listen, I've said the same thing. Gervonta Davis is the A side over everybody in or around his weight class. Point blank, period. Hopefully you guys understand the perfect English that I'm speaking. Doesn't mean that the fight cannot happen with Shakur, Devin, or anybody else. However, there seems to be confusion. It just means that when someone is vastly noted as the A side, you have to play by their rules in terms of terms and conditions. So to fight them, it can happen. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, hit the bell notification icon so you do not miss a thing when it comes to your boxing news. It doesn't mean that the fight is stalled out. It doesn't mean the fight can happen. It simply means what it means. You got to play by the rules to get the opportunity to get the fight. Where that leads, that's up to the A side, meaning dates, venues, time, location, weight class, any type of stipulations, if any, right? Lion's share of the money. All of these things are usually outlined in the negotiation. You can fight for whatever you want to fight for, but that's going to determine how fast, slow the negotiations move, if or when the fight will happen, or if it won't happen. You've seen this with Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford, he wanted X amount of money. The first negotiations fell flat because they didn't see the vision or couldn't align, whatever it was. Crawford wanted more. He said, this is my worth, and he stood on it. And they had to wait until Crawford fought the David Avanesian, and Errol Spence stood on what he said. All I want is undisputed. All I want is the Crawford fight. They re-entered negotiations, and the fight was made. That's how boxing works. So again, I've stated this on my channel. Some people have a hard time comprehending what is being said. Fight can happen with Gervonta and Devin. Would I love to see it? Absolutely. I would love to see it. But as far as dictating to the A side, good luck with that. And that's all it's ever been. I've seen people say, oh, you're not siding with Devin Haney. I don't have a side, right? My side is boxing. My side is ego. My side is me telling the truth as I see it. Whether you like it, whether you love it, if you hate it, if you hate me, if you hate my channel, that's what it is, and that's what it's going to be. So you have a choice that you can make, because the choice has already been made for me. I'm the best in the business, and it's not even close. You can watch the content or not. You can subscribe or unsubscribe. Doesn't change a molecule in my body whether people agree or disagree. I sleep perfectly at night. I sleep like a wee little baby. I sleep just fine because I know in my heart what I'm doing is pure. Gervonta Davis, what I'm saying to you is the reality of business. Now, if Tank chose to give up all of his power, like kind of like Errol Spence did with Terrence Crawford, and allow for a coin flip. That's his business. But from what I've seen, more often than not, 9 times out of 10, when you're dealing with the A side, you have to play by their rules, right? You're not going to tell them what to do. And a lot of times it could boil down to ego and foolish pride. This guy's like, hey, you're not going to tell me what to do. And then the other guy who's the A side is like, I am going to tell you what to do. And that has gotten in the way of fights. If you can't understand the business of boxing, that's on you. Back to Gervonta Davis. It has been a joy. It has been a journey. And it's been a pleasure for me to cover his career along with these other young fighters. Gervonta particularly, because I've known him for a while, and to see the progress the young man has made from a young man to a man, I see that. I see progress. I mean, he just bought up his block. Some people, it seems like, try to hate on that and burn it down or whatever. I made videos about all this content, and he's giving back to the community, right? He's now converted to Islam and is now a Muslim, and he's taken his Shahadah. This is showing you that he's progressing. Maybe he's learning. And for me, I respect anybody, like whatever your religion is, whatever your faith is, whatever your belief system is, I respect it. And I can respect a man who shows maturity and growth. And that's what we're seeing from Gervonta Davis. A lot of people want to hold Gervonta Davis, his most hellacious moments or the sensationalized this or that, and they want to hold like the sins or whatever you want to call them against Gervonta Davis and like stain up his resume. You see it all the time. I do on my channel. A lot of Gervonta hate, but if you look at how he's growing, like he kind of just kicks it with his family, friends, tight inner circle. He does pop out, occasionally, or he'll pop in on Twitter, and he kind of just keeps to himself. And now he's giving back to Baltimore. You got no choice but to respect that. If you do not respect Gervonta Davis in a month's time, buying his block and announcing that, about to move ground to rehab his old stomping grounds and give back to the community with affordable housing, then he takes his Shahadah and he's now a Muslim and he's trying something new, or maybe something he's been thinking about. So he's embracing religion. And, I got to give him props for that. Maturation at his finest. Now, I don't think that any of these things will change his tenacity, his ferocity in the ring. I don't think because I know like Manny Pacquiao, when Floyd was calling him out and telling him to take the test, right around that time when Floyd said, take the test, Manny Pacquiao seemed to get really into religion himself. And I remember reading comments and people were saying that Pacquiao is not getting knockouts anymore because he's a religious figure and he's so religious he doesn't want to hurt Tim Bradley. So that's why he didn't knock him out in the first fight. I really seen many people, and they were leaving these types of comments. They were saying, oh, Pacquiao doesn't want to hurt people. He doesn't want to hurt guys anymore. So his religion is keeping him from that. What I know about Gervonta Davis, what I've seen, I don't think that would be the case. I think he's going to fight how he knows how to fight. And I think he has a bag full of tricks. And I don't think outside of the ring stuff changes his temperament. He's not domesticated in terms of like, oh, I made a lot of money, so I'm just going to sit back and chill, or my style is not going to be the same. So I don't really worry about anything like that. It's good to see a young man, and he's just maturing and trying to continue his life. The other thing I don't think people are realizing is this Amazon Prime deal is huge. It's huge. They just did, and I'll make a separate video. If you want the separate video on this very subject, type in Amazon. Make sure you subscribe. That's the first and foremost. But type in the words Amazon Prime, and I'll make a video about Amazon Prime and what Leonard Ellerbe had to say. So once again, if you're enjoying this content, stay tuned to the end of this video and check out some of my other content. And if you want me to make a video about the Amazon Prime and some of my thoughts, PBC being on there, and what Ellerbe had to say, type in the words Amazon Prime, and then you can continue to put your comments on this video about Gervonta Davis becoming a Muslim. So I'm all for it. As we gear up for the final few weeks of December, make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. It's been real. I cannot wait for 2024. I think we'll get a lot of good things in 2024 regarding boxing. And Gervonta Davis, he should be back in 2024. He fought 2 times this year. He's now saying that he still wants to hurt Devin Haney. Maybe that fight gets made, but I think tempers need to cool off and the negotiations must be had, and then we could possibly get the fight. I personally, I'm just telling you my honest opinion. I don't see the fight happening next. Gervonta Davis, he's on his path. He might even have his next fight lined up. I don't know. They just might not have announced it because they got this new Amazon Prime deal, Amazon pay-per-view rollout, and maybe they're not ready to announce. Plus, Devin Haney was on the Day of Reckoning card yesterday, and he says he's in talks with Ryan Garcia, and they're trying to fight in Saudi Arabia. So again, I don't think Devin Haney would be able to dictate those terms unless they're okay with Gervonta Davis. But back to Gervonta Davis converting to Islam. Congratulations to him. And inshallah, like I'm happy that he's finding his way. One thing I can't say is Tank is doing everything he said he was going to do. He said after his stint in jail and issue with the judge, he said that he was going to focus now on the rest of the year, focus on his personal life. And he's definitely doing that. I remember putting out a video and the tweet where he says he's off for the remainder of 2023 after fighting 2 fights against 2 different Garcias, Hector Luis Garcia and Ryan Garcia. He said he was going to now put the focus on his life. And, you know, with him converting to Islam, building up his block again, you know, he's definitely doing that. Congrats.